Latin Pain Gang, it's the bad guy Chico. Shot to Puerto Rico, and everywhere we go, Boricua's on the set like a big thigh, you know. Shark City Rumble, old Dusty Humble, swinging through your town like a George of the jungle. Move like a bundle, shine like the sun though, pop like a gun though, hit 'em with the 1-2, yeah, like mommy said, right across your head. I paid the cost to be boss, and I ain't had the bread. Rick, what that nigga said he talking ish, he think he just plow to the neck, to the chest. Hey yo, I think he dead. Rico Squad not here for the whack. Shouts to the kid that's back, and that's a fact. Paying undefeated, it's where that he cheated, and how his man kick ass, quadriplegic. This is crazy. Syph 730, ask the whole sector, we do niggas dirty. Emotional damage, too hard to manage. The half-black Latin pancake, the savage. Ha! And that's word to more than I. Havoc, Randall, Randy, and I. If you thinking HJ, Mexico's Big Irvin, all that's reppin' that Rico. Cause everything Rico, my heart, body, and soul, we the people. Rico! And they won't understand, we don't make friends, we only make fam, nigga. Rico! That be the flavor, love thy neighbor, slap thy hater. Rico! Wild children of God, and ain't nothing better than my Rico Squad. Rico! Cause everything Rico, my heart, body, and soul, we the people. Rico! And they won't understand, we don't make friends, we only make fam, nigga. Rico! That be the flavor, love thy neighbor, slap thy hater. Rico! Wild children of God, and ain't nothing better than my Rico Squad. Rico! Shout out to Slum's son for the few, nigga. Rico! Philly's finest, G Mojica, rather unique, nigga. Rico! Rico Squad, all my niggas up frente. Rico! Taca, Tito Puente. Rico! Rico Squad, all my niggas up frente. Rico! Taca, Tito Puente. Rico! 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 Rico!
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Smoked Out Society. I am your host, Havoc 3E. I'm the devil's advocate of Talk Your His Chest. I'm the problem child of the motherfucking Rico Squad. What's good, people? Morning. I got a banger show today. We got some new information coming out. 10 million missing files have now been found, all exposing Donald Trump. It's just crazy. We got Trump spiraling out of his fucking rabbit-ass mind due to some of the shit he did during the Christmas weekend, possibly even declaring war post-Christmas before the New Year's. We don't know what the fuck is going on with this man. But this orange taco tip motherfucker is wilding out. And he's trying to stir and cause more motherfucking issues than we need right now. So we definitely going to get into that. But before we get into that, like I said, I'm over here, I'm smoking, I'm chilling. Go ahead and listen to a little bit of music real quick. Shout out to motherfucking Chino Plush. Another member of the motherfucking Rico Squad. You already know, yo. We in the building, bro. We in the motherfucking building. So that's what we're about to do right now. About to play some Chino Plush. You already know. You already know. You already know. By the way, man, what's popping, man? This world is going crazy, bro. Ain't even been focused, man. Shit getting crazy, bro. Shit is really getting crazy. Chino Plush real quick. Y'all already know how we do.
ain't never heard a song with Vado and Plush on it. With Trigger. I'ma do this shit for Queens, the Bronx, Newburgh, down south, the Midwest to the West. Let's go. Gotta be cautious, dripping nice in them crosses. Niggas will light up the torches, gotta be stepping outside with the bosses. Can't trust them as far as you smell them. All of you niggas is telling, and most of my niggas are felons. Hold up, what's jookin'? The chef in the kitchen was cooking. These niggas, they snitching, they shookin'. Shout out my niggas in Brooklyn. I'm up in Harlem with Vado, smoking a lot of gelato. Almost thought I was in LA. They sellin' them medicine bottles. Never put trust in a buster. Closest of homies a rat on you. Follow the code of the hustlers. Niggas doing good, that's when they wish bad on you. Niggas talk about loyalty, but they really wanna put a toe tag on you. Poppin' shit, but they avoided me. They just hush mouth, I ain't gotta talk about it, I ain't gotta rush now. She a bust down, I don't trust shorty cause you see me like a touchdown. From the end zone to the friend zone. You ain't coming to my benzo, I'ma give you that extendo. With it waving out the window cause I'm gotta be cautious, dripping nice in them crosses. Niggas will light up the torches, gotta be stepping outside with the bosses. They trust them as far as you smell them. All of you niggas is telling, and most of my niggas are felon.
As I sit in the wicker chair, surrounded by millionaires, real street legends making the pictures rare. One of my mans in it, he seeing years. My other man's in it, been free and clear. When I asked how he did it, he said from being fair. The circle tight enough, he could see a square. And on point enough to know when to disappear. Yeah. More than aware of these weirdos. That's why I keep a 4-5 Tech 9 with the air holes. Respect mines on the air those. I'm in the earlobes. Ha!
Yeah. You trippin' dog, I'm a big stepper. Roll the dice in a Harlem night like Sugar Ray, I make a quick better. Dapper DG, Aqua Water, VB, Heapy, Serafini, Ava Rex Leather. Bass rhyme doing diddy bops. Wave vibes like the Millie Rock. Who are we? Gotta be Lil Big Daddy Sauce Ball, stop asking us. Acting tough, player, you can see the clip. Stop acting up, actor cuts. Dripping in the building, still in need a bit of patching up. Wrap it up, faking the funk, I can smell it. The wicked is witty, they living it hellish. I really be with it, like living together. My circle ain't flipping like heads or whatever. It's all in the pic with the teller. You telling the lies, I don't buy them. No way you can sell it. Yo, Benzito, my chariot, whiter than heaven. Yeah, if I see that Benzito, them angels will carry it.
Gotta be cautious, dripping nice in them crosses. Niggas will light up the torches, gotta be stepping outside with the bosses. Can't trust them as far as you smell them. All of you niggas is telling, and most of my niggas are felons.
Yeah, good morning. It's your boy Hal in the building. Just listening to a little bit of music, getting my brain fried before we get into this content. 10 million more files were found. That shit is crazy, bro. These niggas is just playing around with the fucking Department of Justice, not playing. These judges, these senators, and these congressmen are not playing, bro. The more and more y'all do all this extraness, it just makes the fact you motherfuckers are guilty for something, bro. Like hollering, bro. These niggas don't understand they're causing themselves even more problems. Tell you, bro, the best thing they could do is just straight fucking just GP it, man. You might as well, man. At this point, there's no fucking hiding the fact that, you know, we know you guilty, bro. We know you fucking, like, that whole administration is absolutely fucking dirty. Every last one of them is crooked to the fucking fullest, bro. Like, I don't understand. What's the point of hiding it? Y'all hiding something that y'all really can't really fucking hide. Like, it's out already. I would just get in front of it. If I'm busted, I'm busted. It is what the fucking is, man. All this hiding and all this extra bullshit is a fucking joke, man. Absolutely a fucking joke. For real, for real. No bullshit. Song real quick and then we get into it and shit. It's again, good morning.
I don't give a fuck about you anymore. anymore.
Gangsta, crazy, crazy.
Told you was gonna cost you. Told you. I misplaced things. I'm sorry if I lost you. Yeah, right. I fucked your best friend purposely. My heart's Teflon. How dare you try hurting me? I fucked shorty you hate. I told her work with me, and she do it better than you, bitch. That's word to me. You sent the vid to your Facebook. I wish I seen how your face look. Why I'm violating? You a pretender. You caught amnesia. You don't remember. Well, I got the memory of an elephant. I would say the nigga name, but he ain't relevant. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. Your sister told me you was crying. She feeling like you dying. I told her if I said I gave a fuck, I'd be lying. Cupid sent a slug through my shirt. Told you if you cross me, my love will reverse. So, you stupid bitch, damn you. I'm glad your heart is crippled, I can't stand you. I was the man who planned to cuff it up, but you had dicks on the ceiling, you fucked it up. Lying asshole, I bounced right up and now I'm flying that slow. Told you I got the memory of an elephant. I would say the nigga name irrelevant. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. I don't give a fuck about you anymore, girl. Anymore. Oh, yeah. I'm a real nigga. I deserve better. So fuck you. Fuck you. I'm a real nigga. I deserve better. So fuck you. I hate you. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. I don't give a fuck about you anymore, girl. Anymore. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all already know that was Fred the Godson. Stop playing. We're gonna get into this content, man. This shit is crazy. Let's get into it. I'm smoking, I'm right. I want to see what the fuck is going on. This shit is getting out of hand now. It's getting to the point where now he's getting caught, and this was released today. So let's go ahead and let's get into this shit. Because the shit is getting wild with Donald Trump and his fucking.
There may be as many as 10 million missing records from the Epstein files that the DOJ is still covering up. Let me repeat that again, and then let me come with receipts. There may be as many as 10 million missing records from the Epstein files. Now let me come with receipts. So by now, I'm sure you've heard the reports from the DOJ that after the Midas Touch Network wrote our expose about the missing 1.2 million records within the Southern District of New York Prosecutorial Office, the DOJ on Christmas Eve said, I guess we found 1.2 million records, and now it's going to take us many more weeks to produce that. But no, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I believe there are as many as 10 million missing records based on my experience litigating these cases with massive document production. I want you just to think about something that these MAGA Republicans have been covering up for a very long time. the bank records of Epstein, that it is believed that Epstein and his co-conspirators, and now we know that there are indeed many criminal co-conspirators here as well who had not been charged. Kash Patel lied, that they were involved in moving billions of dollars, $1.1 billion or more, as part of this child sex trafficking ring. So I want you to think about just what the financial records alone, with all of these LLCs and different corporate entities that were used for money laundering and shifting money from this account to that account. Just think of the bank records alone. I believe the bank records alone will be over 1 million pages or 1 million documents relating to banking records, with all of that money shifting hands. And you will need a forensic accountant to go through line by line. By the way, this is what I did when I was a litigator. You'd bring in experts. You'd go through them line by line by line, and you would say, oh, this transaction looks shady. This transaction looks suspicious. That's how they generate suspicious activity reports, which there were, thousands and thousands of suspicious activity reports that were generated from Deutsche Bank and JP Morgan and all these banks associated with Epstein. So do you remember back September 17th of this past year, when every Republican except for Massey in the Judiciary Committee blocked the motion from Democratic Congress member, the ranking member of that committee, Jamie Raskin, to subpoena banks for information related to Epstein? Let me just play this for you. Do you remember this? Here, play this clip.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So look, there are 4 banks: JP Morgan, Bank of New York, Bank of America, and Deutsche Bank.
The gentleman can state his motion.
Yeah, but the motion is to subpoena the CEOs of these 4 banks to bring in all records relating to their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein and to produce all records reflecting it. These 4 banks have flagged to the government $1.5 billion in suspicious transactions relating to the sex trafficking.
I move the table.
Mr. Diamond just released a statement saying he would be happy to comply.
Chairman, need
The motion to table, the motion offered by the gentleman from Maryland. The motion to table is not debatable. The question occurs on the motion to table. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no.
No.
Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion is tabled.
I'd like a recorded vote if we could, Mr.
Recorded vote.
Now, let me come with more receipts right here to remind you when Republicans moved to block a motion from Representative Scanlon to subpoena suspicious activity reports relating to Epstein and Maxwell. Here, let's play this clip.
John Lehman, state the motion.
What's good, Hershey's? Just back at it again, brother. This shit is crazy, bro. They found 10 million more files that were being hidden. This shit is absolutely crazy, yo. These niggas is wildin', bro. This shit's about to blow the fuck up, Hershey's. Trust and believe, man. Once again, man, you hanging out with your boy Havoc 3E, new home of the Rico Squad, Smoked Out Society. Share it out, like it. We doing our content. We back on our politics. Your boy Trump doing bad. Him and his people doing bad. About to go to jail. 10 million motherfucking Epstein files. Y'all niggas was hiding. Y'all wildin', bro. Check this shit out, Hershey.
Okay. Pursuant to Clause 2K6 of Rule 11, I move that the committee subpoena U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent to produce or otherwise make available to the committee all suspicious activity reports in the possession of the Treasury Department, identifying the roughly $1.5 billion in
Gentleman from
suspicious transactions.
California is recognized.
I move to lay the motion on the table.
So right now, for you guys listening, shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all. They're trying to figure out where the fuck did this $1.5 billion is suspicious activity. What was that for? They think that these banks were shelling out this kind of bread to fucking Epstein for him to give them what they were getting. Bro, this shit, yo, I'm telling you, he's not going to even make it to November, Hershey's. I don't see him even making it to the fucking primaries, bro. This is crazy. And these banks, JP Morgan and these other 3 banks, they fuck, bro. Deutsche Bank, they fuck. Where's the $1.5 billion? Why were y'all giving $1.5 billion to Jeffrey Epstein? Can you explain that to us? What y'all were paying him for? Did he work for all of y'all? Like what's going on? We need to speak ahead of all these banks. Like, what the fuck were y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas was wilding. Y'all giving this nigga this kind of bread. Can y'all elaborate? Where was this money going?
The motion is not debatable.
I didn't finish.
She hadn't completed the motion. Is it proper to cut it off before it's completed, Mr. Chairman?
Finish your last sentence there. The gentlelady can finish.
Okay, so we're asking them to identify the roughly 1.5 billion in suspicious transactions related to the sex trafficking crimes of Epstein, Maxwell, and their co-conspirators. And as we know,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Patel said that the treasury
Chairman,
might
recognized.
have that
delay the motion
information.
on the table.
Yep. Motion not debatable. The question occurs on the motion to table. Those in favor say aye.
Yeah. So those documents exist. And as you heard there, some of them exist in the Treasury Department. Some of those documents exist within the banks. And by the way, do you know who has those records as well? The federal prosecutors undoubtedly have gone through those records and they have access to those records. And these are the types of things that Trump and the DOJ are hiding right now. That's why I always want to go back and say, that's why they said it. That's why they said the end. Of course, you know by now that at the time when the FBI and DOJ thought that they were going to cover this whole thing up, remember when Kash Patel testified that there were no co-conspirators? No co-conspirators at all. This is Kash, in my opinion, committing perjury, a clear-cut case.
He lied.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
So now when you go through the documents, though, here's what we see. Of the 10 co-conspirators, this is emails with
You gotta be kidding me, man. This shit, you can't write this shit down, people. As soon as he starts off with the 10 and that, like I said, there were no co-conspirators. This nigga just sent the fucking Congress and Senate that there's no co-conspirators, but Lord and behold, in the motherfucking Epstein files and shit, and in the DOJ department, they're talking about 10 co-conspirators. What the fuck, nigga? Is there co-conspirators or not? Who the fuck are you playing games with? Here we go. Listen to this shit.
in the federal prosecutorial office right here, the violent crime section and prosecutors in the Southern District of New York. Here's what they're writing. And this is July 9th of 2019. So this was before Epstein allegedly died by suicide. This was right around the time that Epstein was being prosecuted. Of the 10 co-conspirators, 3 have been located in Florida and served grand jury subpoenas, 1 in Boston, 1 in New York, 1 in Connecticut. 4 of the 10 are outstanding with attempts having been made. 1 is a wealthy businessman in Ohio, a lead being sent to CV. The remaining 3 currently are out of pocket. The team, 8 SAs, TFOs, 2 AUSAs, assistant U.S. attorneys. This is the team of the federal prosecutors. They're flying tonight, tomorrow to various locations in Florida to interview approximately 25 victims. The 1-800 call FBI line is up and running. We have received approximately 45 calls, which we are in the process of vetting. All of those.
Y'all hear that? They basically just, in that page alone, is redacted. Let's go back real quick. Check this out. Even though this is redacted right here, you can see clear as day. Check it out. Let's go big screen on this bitch. You can see clear as day. They're telling you who the fuck they looking at. Good morning, Tyra Sanchez. How you doing, love? They're telling you as clear as day who they're going at. They're telling you the 10 co-conspirators that they're looking into right now. They just basically told you who they were. You just got to put 2 and 2 together. Let's listen in again. Check it out.
The team 8 Epstein was being prosecuted. Of the 10 co-conspirators, 3 have been located in Florida and served.
3 have been located in Florida. 3 co-conspirators already located in Florida.
Grand jury subpoenas, one in Boston, one in New
One in Boston, one in New
York, one in Connecticut. 4
One
of the
in
10 are
Connecticut.
outstanding with attempts having been made.
4 are outstanding. That means those 4 are out of the country. So that means niggas gotta track these motherfuckers down in other countries. This shit is crazy, yo.
One is a wealthy businessman in Ohio, a lead.
One is a wealthy businessman in Ohio. Just think about it. Just think about it, people. How crazy is that, yo? They just basically told you, but in so many words, who they
being sent to CV. The remaining 3 currently are out of pocket. The team, 8 SAs, TFOs, 2 AUSAs, assistant U.S.
Now, any smart motherfucker will go ahead and sit there and do their homework real quick. So what did y'all think your boy Havoc went ahead and did? So I went ahead and I straight up and I Googled wealthy tycoons in Ohio. It just so happened to be that the person with that kind of status and everything, last name is Weiser. That is fucking weird. Weiser. So this is what I did. I went ahead and I looked up that fucking person's name. And then when you look it up, what happens to happen? Whoo! One of the richest tycoon in Ohio, Weiser. So my man, basically, if you start doing your homework and just start putting in what they just said, you could basically find out who the fuck are the people that they were already investigating in the motherfucking Epstein thing, in them early things. You see what I'm saying? So they basically gave us all the answers we needed to know about who the fuck are these people. Laughing out loud. They basically gave us the answers. So now we know by just looking up these peoples, and trust me, I've been looking up all these peoples and everything, and looking up some of the information. Oh my God. Fucking dirtbags, bro. And they fit the category of what the fuck Donald Trump fucking pedo style and everything is with Jeffrey Epstein and them. Let's keep it moving.
This is the team of the federal prosecutors. They're flying tonight, tomorrow to various locations in Florida to interview approximately 25 victims. The 1-800-CALL FBI line is up and running. We have received approximately 45 calls, which we are in the process of vetting. All of those calls, after their vetting, all have memos. Where are those memos? The 25 victims referenced here, where are all of those witness statements? Where are those statements at all? The 10 co-conspirators, what investigations were done there? Just think about it. You know, whereas we previously broke the story about how this one hard drive alone, that the SDNY talked about in 2020 had 1.2 million records. That's why I saw it. I said it was labeled SDNY PROD, Southern District of New York Production 8-214. I think number 11 had 6 subparts in it. That was 1.2 million records there. What about the Florida, Southern District of Florida records? What about the Ghislaine Maxwell records? What about the records generated with these 10 co-conspirators as well? Have you seen this email? Let me show you this one. August 25th, 2019. All after much engagement with HQ. HQ at this time is Bill Barr. This is DOJ.
Check this out.
2019 main headquarters. That's what this is referring to. All after much engagement with HQ over the past 48 hours and our efforts to both consolidate and limit the reporting requirements. Consolidate and limit the reporting requirements. HQ, meaning Bill Barr, is now requesting updates in a conference call to be held daily at 15:30. You should all receive the Bridgeline information tomorrow. Trust me, nothing you're thinking right now hasn't already been communicated to the highest levels. Can I read?
So basically, before he repeats that, let me get y'all caught up real quick if you're not understanding what he's talking about. When Trump became president the first time around, Trump was already basically trying to scrub all of this. He was trying to destroy all of this information in his first term. Remember when Trump left the White House that he was no longer president, that they raided Mar-a-Lago and all this shit and everything because he had took certain files with him? Boom. You see what I'm saying, people? These were the files that Trump had tried to fucking steal when he left the presidency the first time. And he was trying to destroy these fucking files and he got in trouble for it and had to give all that shit back. That's what's now raising questions, and what's everything is starting to come out is making a lot more sense of what he did back then. That's what he's about to repeat to you.
Repeat that. This says, trust me, nothing you're thinking right now hasn't already been communicated to the highest levels. What do you think that they were thinking right now? What do you think was on their mind at that time? What do you think that's code for? You think it's code for? Were they thinking about the guy who was in charge? You think that's what they were referring to? You think they were thinking about Trump? In my opinion, this is largely driven by the DOJ. Is it inconvenient? Yes. Regardless, we'll need to support the calls because those of you all who deal with this are in the exact same position as you. We should support each other and push through. Based on all my calls with headquarters, here are some of my thoughts on how we should go forward. Many questions I'm receiving are driven by media reporting. For example, Maxwell, New Mexico residence search, etc. Pause there. NM search. Do we have the documents of the New Mexico search, the photos of the New Mexico search? Where is that? If you see sustained reporting on one aspect, get ahead of it. For example, media has been all over the location and role of Maxwell as a co-conspirator. I advise that based on the volume and quality of evidence we have, the team is currently focused on charges for a different co-conspirator. The volume and the quality of evidence. And this is how we know that there's missing stuff. Volume and quality about another co-conspirator or other co-conspirators. That means there's a lot and it's a very high quality information. Where is that? However, we're engaged with counsel for all co-conspirators. Okay, well, if they're engaged in counsel with all those co-conspirators, which Kash Patel said didn't exist, there will be memos with all of those conversations. There will be memos about the memos. You know how diligent the DOJ once was? All of that will be in a file. Kill the rumor before it gets legs in the minds of senior leadership. Kill the rumors before it gets legs. What about this document right here? GVI versus estate of Jeffrey Epstein, paragraph 45.
Basically, when Trump was in the presidency the first time, they were trying to get rid of all this fucking Epstein evidence and everything. That's why they killed fucking Epstein. Trump was in the president when Epstein was murdered. Let us not forget, people. All of this Epstein shit went down while Trump was in the fucking White House the first time around. So something's not going to give. Now we understanding all the file stealing and everything when he left the White House the first time, everything, he was trying to clear his fucking path. And now that he's back in here again, he thought they can control this shit, and boom, look what's happening. Karma's a motherfucker, yo. Karma is a straight motherfucker. He's done, bro. He is not going to even make it to the fucking November primaries.
Epstein Enterprise engaged in a pattern of criminal activity in the Virgin Islands and elsewhere, with the criminal purpose and goal of placing a steady supply of vulnerable female children and young women into sexual servitude in service of Epstein's desires and those of his associates. The Epstein Enterprise maintained and made available young women and underage girls for the purpose of engaging them in forced labor and sexual activities, and use coercion and deception to procure, abuse, and harbor its victims. The enterprise. And the enterprise is international in scope as well. So there will be not just documents within the DOJ, there will be international documents. And by the way, there are photos of the co-conspirators. There are photos. How do we know that? This email, August 19, 2019, Epstein co-conspirator pics. I'm just reading you the documents.
Wow.
I'm not going down a conspiratorial rabbit hole. Detective, NYPD, FBI, Child Exploitation, Human Trafficking Task Force. The attachment, co-conspirators_brief.docx. Where's that document? Where's the co-conspirator brief.docx? That's a document we want. And where are the pics? Co-conspirator pics. How about this document? Memos. Memo on co-conspirators we could potentially charge the Monday after Epstein's death. Co-conspirators update memo, December. Co-conspirator prosecution memo. Prosecution memo, April. Hasn't been discussed in 3 weeks since we sent it. Perjury, New Mexico memo will be another 30 pages right there. Take a look at some of these entities that Epstein controlled. Butterfly Trust, Epstein's Real Property, FT Real Estate Inc., Gratitude America Inc., JP Epstein Virgin Islands Foundations, Jeepers Inc., Mort Inc., the Telus Inc., Zora Development Corporation, among others. What are these entities is my question. I don't know what these entities are. Let me be very clear.
Those are probably entities they were using to whitewash money, or to move whatever they were doing.
But do these entities have documents? You can imagine that just one entity could potentially have 100,000 documents, 1 million documents. Again, I don't know what these entities are. Zero clue. But we should be able to find that out if I were able to review the documents that are being produced over, in here. Then I'll show you this right here. This is what Senator Ron Wyden had previously said. Let's play this right here.
Last year, the Biden administration allowed our investigators to look at portions of the file. We did that at the Treasury building. Here is what it says. Treasury's Epstein file details, Mr. President, 4,725 wire transfers. Let me repeat that. 4,725 wire transfers, adding up to nearly $1.1 billion flowing in and out of just one of Mr. Epstein's bank accounts.
That's crazy.
If you ask me, that is more than 4,000 potential lines of investigation right there.
What the?
Hundreds of millions.
What the fuck? So the Biden, so much shit about the Biden administration not doing nothing. The Biden administration was actually looking into this shit, but it was at the point when they started looking, it was too late because Biden was out the door already. There was already elections and shit going on. So these niggas was already on to these banks. What the fuck was this nigga doing to get that, man?
More flowed through other accounts. That's even a lot more to investigate. The file shows that Mr. Epstein used multiple Russian banks, which are now under sanctions, to process payments related to sex trafficking.
Wow.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. I think the number's 10 million. At least 10 million records that are missing. I think it's more, but to be safe, I'll say 10 million. I hope I laid it out with receipts. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thank you for watching. The truth is,
That's crazy. It's absolutely fucking wild, bro. That's wild that they had to get busted. Yo, come on, think about it, Hershey's. How the fuck is somebody like this not living the life he's living, providing all of this for these people? Somebody had to be funding him this kind of bread. And that's why they investigating these 4 fucking banks. These banks were blessing the shit out of this nigga Epstein. He was getting cake in just one fucking account. That's wild, bro. That is wild, bro. Crazy, yo. Give me a second. Let me get a pack of gummies real quick. That shit is crazy, bro. Like, yo, if you think about it, bro, this nigga was making cake, bro, for doing nothing. He wasn't fucking doing nothing. What was he doing? Providing all these girls, these parties and everything for these higher fucking elites. That's fucking crazy, bro. This fucking administration is out of whack. And then they got caught behind that shit too. So now the next video I'm about to show y'all gonna laugh. Behind the same bullshit, these niggas got caught. They got caught. They got handed to them. Check this shit out. This shit is fucking hilarious, bro. These niggas, yo, this must be the worst fucking cover-up in the history that has to be, bro. This has to be the worst fucking cover-up, bro. Jesus, my kids could do.
The Department of Justice is crashing out in real time.
I'm telling you, my kids could do a better job of fucking lying to me than these people. This is horrible, people. Check this shit out.
The Department of Justice is crashing out in real time as the Epstein files have run away against them because they do not know what the hell they're doing with these redactions. And Hunter Biden is, I don't know what's going on, but Hunter Biden is out and he is pissed off and he's exposing Donald Trump around the Epstein files. And I have also, can you believe it? Chuck Schumer is actually saying something forcefully. I don't fully understand what's happening. It could just be the holiday spirit has gotten to everyone. Now, first, the Department of Justice, we are learning, has this Twitter account. And typically the Department of Justice, when they tweet, it's just very factual. It's like, you know, XY records have been released and we are complying with laws. And, you know, it's no personality. That's not the Department of Justice now. The Department of Justice, and we've discovered what is happening behind this, but the Department of Justice is now tweeting at reporters things like this. A reporter said, okay, so then why would the Department of Justice publicly release something that's not faked, in reference to the Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nassar letter? And it said, because the law requires us to release all documents related to Jeffrey Epstein in our possession. So that's what we are doing, you dope. Are you suggesting we break the law? Now, calling a reporter a dope is crazy from the Department of Justice official account. But asking, are you suggesting we break the law, is laughable because the Department of Justice is literally breaking the law with each passing day because they were supposed to release all the files on Friday and they were supposed to be unredacted. And what did we get? Redacted files and not all of them. So you all already did break the law. And now you're telling us that you're releasing things that are fake without letting us know ahead. Like they could say that this letter was determined to be fake. Like there's certainly a press component around this that they could have been giving us more information than just a file dump, but they chose to do it this way. By the way, that letter likely is real. Now,
exactly. The
Department of Justice is also replying to reporters nonstop and other saying that the letter is fake. The letter is fake. Why is the Department of Justice so interested in letting people know that this letter that is very much so real is fake? Could it be because the Department of Justice knows that Donald Trump is completely implicated, not only by this letter, but by many other things that they've been redacting? And they know that Donald Trump needs the defense. Now, the reason why this is also happening is because Trump and the Justice Department have compounded their problems with clumsy messaging and puzzling redactions reported by Axios, made while pledging transparency. So the White House has begun managing the Department of Justice account on Twitter, an effort to finish out the year and the Epstein file disclosure requirements set by Congress. And this is so, it is just so unethical that the White House is managing the Department of Justice's communications. They're supposed to be
against the law.
A wall. They're supposed to be independence between these two departments. I guess not anymore. Not anymore. Now I have Ro Khanna coming up showing what we can do about this. And there will be consequences for what's happening today. It might not be tomorrow, but there will be consequences. Now, as I said, Hunter Biden came out swinging on Sean Ryan's podcast, who is, I would say, certainly has a more conservative audience. And here's what he had to say.
What do you think that was?
What do I think that was?
What do you think this whole Epstein debacle was. Do you think this was
I don't even fucking know at this point, and I really mean it. It's like I will tell you is that the only thing that is clear to me is this: Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, during a period of his life, were fucking thick as thieves, and Donald Trump has tried to pass this off as being what Palm Beach was in the 90s. Okay, and that may be his view of it. But I've seen enough evidence of Donald Trump and his teen modeling agencies and what he said on Howard Stern about how he can go, he would go into the back of these, Miss Teen USA pageants and, walk up to the girls naked. They were talking about girls when he's talking about doing that. And wonder whether or not Donald Trump in his mind has come up with this concoction that it was all just what they did in the 90s. It was models. I mean, that's what Michael Wolff says. Michael Wolff says that the justification in Trump's mind is that they were models.
Wow.
They're 14, 15 years old. I mean, we have a president that has been credibly accused by well over a dozen and a half women, if not more, of sexual assault. And we're wondering whether or not, as he fights tooth and nail for the Epstein files that all of his supporters demanded be released so that they could nail Bill Clinton to a cross. And he won't release them. Why? Out of the kindness of his heart for the people that may get hurt. Have you ever known the president to act out of anything but his own self-interest? Ever?
Oh my God, you can see Sean Ryan in real time. You're like, holy shit, the president is a pedophile. The president is a pedophile. That deep side.
We all knew that from jump.
All right, well, that is a really good point too, that Donald Trump's not protecting anyone. He's not doing this to protect his buddies. When has Donald Trump ever done anything to protect anyone else but himself? Never. Now, as I said, Chuck Schumer kind of came out. I mean, this is maybe the most aggressive I've ever seen him.
Yeah, Ben, first let me say the law was written very clearly, and it did not allow all these redactions, all these blacking out of everything. It did not say you can dribble them out over a period of months. These guys are full of shit. They should simply release them all now. Yeah, Ben, first let me...
Yeah, they should release them all, and they're not going to. And because they're not going to, Ro Khanna was also on the Midas Touch channel and said that this is what we could do about it. And I think everyone is kind of wondering, like, what are the consequences for all?
Word up, man. Shout out to Keith Edwards. Shout out to Midas Touch. Shout out to Jack Coachella. These dudes are really going out there between them and me doing my little thing, man. We making it happen, man. We bringing that information to y'all, man. This is Smoked Out Society, baby. The new home of the Rico Squad, man. And we out here, we bringing this information, man. We letting y'all know what is going down, man. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is going to make a black eye for this country. This man is trying to start a war so that we can focus on the war. He don't understand that that's not going to happen. Whether you start a war or not, motherfuckers are still going to keep looking at you, bro. We already know what you're trying to do, man. We smell the bullshit, bro. We smell it.
All this lying. What are the consequences for breaking the law? Well, here's one thing we can do.
I don't know if you can share this, but any FBI whistleblowers or DOJ whistleblowers who may be on the horizon, who's upset about the way this was handled, who may have information?
We've had some approaching our office and the committee. I obviously can't get into the details, but there are people who are upset about the non-compliance of the law, and they don't want to be held accountable, right? Anyone who is at the Justice Department who's involved with this, who's not complying, would be prosecuted for obstruction of justice. Now, Pam Bondi's not going to prosecute them, and Donald Trump isn't going to have an attorney general who prosecutes them. But, in 2029, we're going to have a Democratic president, and that Democratic president's going to have an attorney general, and that attorney general is going to prosecute the law, not out of vindictiveness, just saying that you can't commit crimes and get away with it. By the way, I think that should apply to crimes, not just in violating the Epstein Transparency Act. I think it should apply to crimes with ICE, crimes in terms of the strikes in the Caribbean. We need accountability before reconciliation. So if you're at the Justice Department and you know that you're violating the law, you probably don't want obstruction of justice charges brought against you. And that
once again, keep your receipts, keep your emails, keep your text messages, keep your paperwork, keep your little crayon doodle that you doodled on a fucking napkin. Keep it all, bro. Because as soon as this nigga's out the White House, each and every one of y'all motherfuckers are gonna burn. The abuse that y'all been doing to the fucking people in this country with ICE and everything, oh, trust and believe, y'all gonna pay for that, man. Somebody's got to answer for that, and you motherfuckers are gonna answer for it, bro. Look at how he's trying to get rid of some of you loyalists right now, you fucking idiots. That's why y'all screwed, man.
I don't know about you. That makes me feel good. Merry Christmas. That feels good to know that just because they're getting away with it now doesn't mean they're going to get away with it forever. There will be people who suffer consequences from the things that they're doing today, and I look forward to it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. Tell you, man, motherfuckers don't know, man. This shit's gonna come back to bite them really bad, bro. They don't understand. This shit is crazy. Then this fucking idiot, I don't know what happened. He's trying to declare war or something after Christmas or some shit. And this nigga, he posted some of his crimes. So we're gonna take a look at that. Yeah, it's true, Tara. They can't even run away from themselves right now. They're done. They're done. They're gonna all be held accountable. There's nothing they can do. Shit. Truth be told, who do you think is gonna suffer the most out of this? Truth be told, all these people that are in the high-powered seats, who do you think is gonna suffer the most out of all those people? Think about it. You got Pat Bondi, you got Christy Nome, you got fucking Pete Hegseth. Who else you got in there? You got fucking JD Vance. Like, who do you think is gonna pay the most behind all this shit? Nah, I think they're gonna pay for it. They're gonna pay too. Tell you, man, somebody's gonna pay the worst. That's what I said too. Tell you, this shit is crazy, bro. You got fucking Chaos Truth say what? Cash Patel, FBI. You know what? I'm not. I think he's gonna pay, but I think Pete Hegseth is gonna get hit more. The nigga, the Department of War motherfucker, whatever the fuck whatever, because that all killing all them people on them boats for no fucking reason, bro. Killing all those people he killed on them fishing boats. That shit, I think, that's gonna be the first thing that's gonna fucking really bite them in the ass. Because you basically trying to start a fucking war, man. By doing that, you're violating international waters. They were violating international waters by doing that shit, man. Come on, man. They were double tapping and everything, bro. That shit is absolutely crazy, bro. Yeah, I you know what? Cash Patel might pay a little bit on Chaos Truth, but I'm gonna keep it real, man. I think Pete Hegseth is gonna get fucked up big time behind this shit. Yeah, somebody got a scapegoat. That's the whole fact.
A normal person on Christmas would be spending time with friends, family, throwing on the Muppet Christmas Carol, a little bit of eggnog, a little bit of kicking back. The President of the United States is incriminating himself by tweeting about Jeffrey Epstein as he clearly loses his mind, I guess, in Mar-a-Lago. That is what Donald Trump is doing right now. He's put up about 200 posts on Truth Social today, which shows you everything you really need to know about his non-relationship with Melania and anyone else at Mar-a-Lago. But the worst was the one he made about Epstein that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. And it's a nice little Christmas gift. But before we get into Trump, I want to start with all the context, which is the latest incriminating report on Epstein that clearly has Trump making this specific post. And it comes to us from Lawrence O'Donnell right here.
We don't yet know how much of the redacting of the Epstein files involves redacting the word Trump. But we do know that the completely corrupted Trump Justice Department is capable of continuing to try to cover up whatever they believe they need to cover up for Donald Trump in the Epstein files. The Trump Justice Department is and will remain completely corrupted. They therefore have no credibility at all in anything that they say about the Epstein files. And so when Todd Blanche tells you that something is fake in the Epstein files, like a handwritten letter from Jeffrey Epstein to another pedophile in prison, Todd Blanche should not be able to convince anyone that that letter is fake. There are real reasons to believe it is fake, and there are ways of determining it is fake. But Todd Blanche does not have the credibility necessary to make that case.
That's crazy.
So all of the assessment of what is and isn't fake in the Epstein files will be made outside of the Trump Justice Department, because the Trump Justice Department is completely corrupted and there to do nothing other than try to defend Donald Trump. Todd Blanche lied today in a written statement about the Epstein files, saying that any of the negative information about Donald Trump in the Epstein files, if true, quote, certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. That is a lie. That is Todd Blanche pretending that the Biden Justice Department or the Obama Justice Department were corrupt like the Trump Justice Department. The Epstein files contains a claim by Jeffrey Epstein's brother that he believes, without evidence, that Donald Trump had Jeffrey Epstein killed in prison. The brother offers no evidence of that. There is no evidence of that. And that claim existed in the Epstein files during the Biden presidency. And no one in Merrick Garland's Justice Department ever dreamed of releasing that information. No one weaponized that unfounded claim by Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Since Todd Blanche works in a completely corrupted Justice Department, he knows what he would have done with statements like that about an enemy of Donald Trump's.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has seen enough. The Republican member of Congress who built her entire political career on enthusiastic support for Donald Trump, but then lost Donald Trump's support when she demanded the release of the Epstein files, said today, "This is horrifying. Trump called me a traitor for fighting him to release the Epstein files and standing with women who were raped, jailed in stalls, and trafficked to men. Only evil people would hide this and protect those who participated. I pray for these women." Donald Trump tried to hide it. Donald Trump's attorney general tried to hide it.
They ain't do a good
Donald
job.
Trump's criminal defense lawyer, now his deputy attorney general, tried to hide it. Donald Trump's clownish FBI director tried to hide it. Only evil people would be co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein. Evil people like Ghislaine Maxwell, who Donald Trump wishes well.
Donald Trump tweeted years ago that he wasn't on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. That was a lie. Donald Trump is constantly saying that the Epstein files are a hoax and he barely knew this guy. That's not true. He himself has admitted that he was his best buddy. Trump says that nothing nefarious ever happened with Epstein. The first person who...
It's been proven that in a 3-year span, Donald Trump has flown on Epstein's plane 80 fucking times. 80 times he has flown on Epstein's plane in a 3-year span. That's crazy.
Would you tell you that's not the case is Donald Trump in many instances, but also Jeffrey Epstein. Everything has been a lie, and every lie has only brought more attention to the fact that there is a large-scale failed cover-up going on that only makes it all the more incriminating. It is why Donald Trump on this Christmas day isn't spending time with the family who hates him or the friends who are trying to grift off his name or any of his sycophants, I guess, because maybe they're hibernating and they can't enjoy the holiday season, but posting this insane collapse of a message on Truth Social. In a quite lengthy post, Trump wrote, "Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who love Jeffrey Epstein gave bundles of money, went to his parties and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot, falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. When their names got out, the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one lowlife Republican, Massey, and it is revealed that they are all, or Democrats all, there will be a lot of explaining to do. How much like there was when it was made public that the Russia hoax was a fictitious story, a total scam, and had nothing to do with Trump. The failing New York Times, among many others, was forced to apologize for their bad and faulty election reporting, even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their highly inaccurate fake coverage. Now the same losers are at it again. Only this time, so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally tarnished. But sadly, that's the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas, President Donald Trump. Okay, so there's a lot to get into. I'd first like to start with the fact that it's very difficult for you to say, Donald, that this is both all a hoax and the thing that's going to end Democrats entirely. And which Democrats are you talking about?
Word.
No one's defending Bill Clinton. I never want to hear from Bill Clinton again. There's no one who is ripping their face out like, oh my God, Bill Clinton, what a shame. It was disgusting how close his ties were with Epstein. The Democratic Party shouldn't want nothing to do with him. It's not something that we're sticking by. And it's really revealing that Donald Trump, I guess another way that they try to spin this somehow being a hoax is that Democrats are playing politics with the Epstein issue. I'd like to make one thing very clear. Unfortunately, Joe Biden, one, wouldn't ever put pressure on his DOJ, and two, if he did, any release of Epstein files at the same time that Ghislaine Maxwell was undergoing a trial, was being convicted, was sentenced ultimately, and after her appeal was shut down, if any of those files had been released, it could have potentially stopped her from being put in prison. So Joe Biden's decision to do so wasn't because, as the right always likes to say, there was nothing in it that could have hurt Trump. He was just making sure that actual accountability was brought. Now, sure, Merrick Garland was a fuck up, and that's besides the point. And sure, maybe Joe Biden or Kamala Harris could have talked about the fact that Donald Trump was close friends with Jeffrey Epstein. That wouldn't have, thrown a wrench in any of the Maxwell trial. That wouldn't have stopped anything, right? We should have been talking about that more. But the idea that this is now a political football for Democrats reveals actually how Republicans view this issue. They viewed it as a pawn that they could play with during the election only to move on. And now that they see it as inconvenient, they are saying that Democrats are seizing on it because it's convenient, because it previously was for them. It's really just a self-report they're telling on themselves as they view this issue as not a way to bring justice to survivors, but a way to score cheap points that they have lost. Now, Donald Trump saying that he was the first one to turn on Epstein is also an admission that there was something to turn on Epstein for, and that he was a creep. And so if you were hanging out with him again and again and again, and he was your best buddy, and you two were like playing grab ass with each other, talking about which 13-year-olds you like the most, no. Donald Trump was split up with Epstein after a business deal went wrong, and we still don't know if they were ever actually no longer friends, because Epstein said that he was at Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving in 2017 when Donald Trump was president. And we know that Epstein's own brother said that Jeffrey Epstein thought Donald Trump was a terrible person. He thought he was despicable, morally reprehensible. Jeffrey Epstein, if that guy is saying you suck, It's like inconceivable how bad of a person you are. And that is Donald Trump. So why is he melting down right now? Well, he knows the walls are closing in around him. He knows that Democrats are telling those working in the DOJ, it is time to step up and it is time to hear from whistleblowers, because if you are going along with what Pam Bondi is doing right now, you are breaking the law alongside her and you should be held accountable for that. So of course, Donald Trump is going to be melting down on Truth Social. Of course, Donald Trump is going to be freaking out. And of course, Donald Trump is going to be implicating himself further by saying that this is all a hoax and it doesn't matter and we should just look over there and stop paying attention. What he is advocating for is the breaking of a law he signs. That is what is happening this Christmas as Donald Trump completely loses his mind. That is what is happening. And it's because he knows what's coming next. More accountability that Ro Khanna broke down right here.
And what we see is that the Department of Justice, frankly, and this is not exaggeration, is more concerned about hurting the reputation of the rich and powerful men who abuse the survivors than they are protecting the survivors. When it came to the survivors, they've released the names. In one case, a survivor's name was released in a horrible way. And she then asked why the FBI file which she was mentioned in was not released. They didn't release the file she's mentioned in, though she's requesting it, and they released her name. So they're breaking the law very clearly.
There is no escaping the accountability that is coming to Donald Trump. There is no wiggling his way out of this one. We know what is happening at the DOJ. We know that Trump is implicated, not just in the crimes themselves, but the cover up. And it goes so much deeper than what we've just seen over the past couple of days, weeks, and months. I want to know what was happening in the first administration. We already know that a U.S. attorney was making it clear, was flagging for the administration as a whole, that Donald Trump was closely involved with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Crazy. But basically, in his first term, he was trying to rub the files, and he couldn't rub the files in the first term. So then he comes back into the presidency in the second term, and then boom, now he's busted trying to do the bullshit. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. At the end of the day, I don't see no ins or out for this man. It's just a matter of time before he's gonna fall on his face. Lord knows how much more is going to come out, and the day has just started. And with that being said, people, shout out to Chaos, shout out to Tara Sanchez, shout out to baby girl Wendy, Hershey's the Entertainer, shout out to the motherfucking Rico Squad, shout out to everybody that was in the bushes. I appreciate y'all. This was a quick one. I'm going to get up out of here. If anything else pops off today with this sicko, fanatic, crazy-ass motherfucker, you already know, man. I'm going to be up here letting y'all know. Don't forget to subscribe, share this out. This is the new home of the Rico Squad. Smoked Out Society, baby.
Shout to my peoples, everything Rico, Latin Pain Gang, it's the bad guy Chico. Shout to Puerto Rico, and everywhere we go, Boricua's on the set like a big die, you know. Shark City Rumble, old Dusty Humble, swinging through your town like a George of the jungle. Move like a bundle, shine like the sun though, pop like a gun though, hit him with the 1-2, yeah, like mommy said, right across your head. I paid the cost to be boss, and I ain't had the bread. Rick, what that nigga said he talking ish, he think he just plow to the neck, to the chest. And yo, I think he dead. Rico Squad not here for the whack. Shouts to the kid that's back, and that's a fact. Paying undefeated, it's where that he cheated, and how his man kick ass, quadriplegic. This is crazy. Syph 730, ask the whole sector. We do niggas dirty. Emotional damage, too hard to manage. The half black Latin pancake, the savage. Ha! And that's word to more than I. Havoc, Randall, Randy, and I. Is the King, HJ, Mexico's Big Irvin. All that's reppin' that Rico. Cause everything Rico, my heart, body, and soul, we the people. Rico. And they won't understand. We don't make friends, we only make fam, nigga. Rico. That be the flavor. Love thy neighbor, slap thy hater. Rico. Wild children of God, and ain't nothing better than my Rico Squad. Rico. Cause everything Rico, my heart, body, and soul, we the people. Rico. And they won't understand. We don't make friends, we only make fam, nigga. Rico. That beat the flavor. Love thy neighbor, slap thy hater. Rico. Wild children of God, and ain't nothing better than my Rico spawn. Rico. Shout out to Slums, son, for the few, nigga. Rico. Philly's finest, G Mojica, rather unique, nigga. Rico. Rico squad, all my niggas up frente. Rico. Taca, taca, ta, taca, ta, puta puente. Rico. Rico squad, all my niggas up frente. Rico. Taca, taca, ta, taca, ta, puta puente. Rico. 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 Rico.
Smoked out.